Okay, part 2 of this affidavit. I'm back. It's 1 p.m. and I forgot if I covered this. I know I stopped. They're tracking the suspect's vehicle to where he kind of appears to be driving around. They're showing a vehicle pattern of him driving around. Suspect vehicle 1 next seen departing the area of King Road residence approximately 4:20 a.m. So they have him leaving the crime scene right around the time was committed, or when the crime was committed. So again, that's more establishing a probable cause, leading a reasonable person to believe that he was involved in this crime. Suspect vehicle 1 next observed driving southbound. Based on my knowledge of the area and view of the camera footage in the neighborhood, it does not show suspect vehicle during that time frame. I got confused here. I believe that suspect vehicle 1 likely exited the neighborhood at the River Drive edge of Moscow. Why does he believe that? When you say I believe something, you need to say why you believe that. Is that the only other way he could have went besides the same path he came in? Is there multiple ways? What led you to believe? So if I was a defense attorney, that's how I would be attacking this. When a cop says I believe something and he doesn't say why he believes it or articulates why he believes it, that can be a problem. But like I said, once a judge signs this, it's pretty much golden. The only way the judge overturns it is if you held something from the judge or he found out you were lying or something was really misrepresented, then he'll say, you know what, I'll overturn it. Otherwise, you're kind of fighting a judge when you go. That's why they encourage cops. Go get a stinking warrant. It covers your butt. All right, 10 minutes, Idaho calls. People travel back and forth between law enforcement officers provided video footage. Suspect 1 vehicle to forensic examiners, Federal Bureau of Investigation, year, make, model, and observe 1 or more cameras during the commission of offense. Forensic examiner has 35 years. So you see, he goes into a lot of what other experience of other people had. Sometimes you need that. I'm not sure he needs that here. I mean, I would have just said, I gave the video evidence to forensic specialists at the FBI, and their opinion is this. And that supports my opinion. Okay? After reviewing numerous observations, last one for the initial suspect vehicle 1, Honda Electra, upon further review indicated 2016 Hyundai, whatever. Result, investigator reviewing possession of the vehicle of 211, a 2016 white Honda Electra. I'll just say Elantra. Sorry, I said Electra. Everybody be correcting me because I'm reading fast. Investigators were given access to the video footage of State Washington campus. A review of the video indicated that approximately 2:44 on November 13th. See, again, he changes dates a lot. So, what was the last date he mentioned? So you have to go all the way back here to see. He's talking about November 13th. What date are we on here? This is why I don't think this paints a good picture. I'm seeing it's too hard for me to keep up. What day are you talking about? What day? Where did he move? Is he moving cities? Is he moving location? See, look how far I got to go back to the date. And we just jumped to the 13th. When was the last time you mentioned a date? November 12th, 1:30 a.m. Okay, so we'll go back down here. Where are we at? Suspect vehicle. Shit, now I lost where the hell I was looking at the date. Oh, here we go. November 13th at 2:43 a.m., a white sedan with consistent description. White suspect vehicle observed surveillance cameras traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street of the second floor of the third eastbound facing wall of the apartment third floor. Come on, dude. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, if you're going to say all this, then drop a picture in here and give a little map with an arrow on which way he's going. And nobody's going to read this, and you can't put a visual picture. I didn't like guys that did warrants like this because they weren't easy to follow. At approximately 2:53 a.m., so we were at 2:44 a.m., now we're at 2:53. See, here it would have been about 10 minutes later at approximately 2:53. So now I can keep up. Here I got to go 2:43 to 2:53 is 9 minutes. So 9 minutes later. And it ruins the flow of this. Had I just said in my next sentence, approximately 9 minutes later at about 2:53, this is lazy writing. This isn't painting a picture. I'm just writing this by the books, by the numbers. Here's what happened, 1, 2, 3, just the facts, man. It's just a bad written affidavit in my opinion, but whatever. Not horrible, but it could be better. Which is consistent with the description. I observed traveling southbound on Nevada Street. What's the difference between northbound on North Nevada Street, southeast Nevada Street, to southeast Nevada Street and Pullman, Washington towards 270? Where's SA-70 connects to Pullman? Oh, great. I don't have a freaking map, and I don't live here, and not everybody that reads this is going to be familiar with your northwest, east directions. It's just irrelevant. All right. Provided SBI, the forensic examiner identified the vehicle observed by Pullman, Washington, but has a lot, whatever, we got that, approximately 5:25. See, we don't give a time frame here. I got to go back. How long ago was this? Where were we? We were at 2:53. Now we're at 5:23. So now we're talking 3.5 hours later, but I got to figure this out because the writer can't make it easy for me to follow. A white sedan, which is consistent with the description. And if this is important, it should be at approximately 2 hours later. We saw him here, which is the approximate time that it would take to drive from this area because it's 40 miles and it takes, at the speed limit, it would take approximately 2 hours to get this distance, and it was 2 hours later. Then I could tie it together. Then I could paint a picture. Cops nowadays, they just don't freaking write shit warrants, man. I'll tell you. The first camera was recorded a white sedan on 1300 Johnson Street. The white sedan was there traveling northbound on Johnson. Johnson Road leads back to West Road of Moscow, which intersects. Anybody keeping up? Does everybody know where we're at? Of course not. The white sedan was then observed turning on Bishop Boulevard Northwest at 270, approximately 5:27. So this was 2 minutes after this. How does that help me? Unless, if this is important, at 5:25, we had the thing here. At 5:27, we had him here. This is approximately 2 miles away, and it would take approximately 2 minutes to drive this way. So we don't think he made any other stops. If that's relevant, but you have to tie it together. This guy's just giving out directions. He's just telling us what they found, which doesn't necessarily connect him to the crime. We've already got him in the area. We've got him seen in the area. He's leaving the area. We got his DNA, and we got him in the car. We got him with bushy eyebrows. He's tied to the crime. This is all just minutia to me. But this map has to be the worst freaking map I've ever seen in my life. Who can tell what the hell this map is? Whoever approved this map is a freaking idiot. Okay? And you can send this to the PD and the person who approved it. This is, there was a couple judges that would sign this and they wouldn't care. But there's one freaking judge, Judge Ransom out of Sacramento. There's no way he'd be like, what the hell is this picture showing me? He goes, this picture don't show me nothing. He would say, go give me a picture that I can use or take this out. He would not have signed this warrant if I gave him a shit picture like that. But judges don't hold cops accountable anymore. Who can use this freaking photo for anything? The only one that knows what this photo is the dummy that produced it. It doesn't help me one iota that this guy committed a crime and a crime was committed. Nothing. There's not a line, there's not a dot, there's not the car here or time. I mean, I could see if he put a box here. Vehicle was seen here at this time. Vehicle traveled here at this time, which is probably 2 miles away. Vehicle traveled here. I don't even know what the hell this is. What is this? Observed cameras traveling stadium. Description showing Moscow and Poland. Description of what? Not to scale. No shit, it's not to scale. It's not to anything. It's a freaking green blob with some white dots on it. Worthless picture. Oh, now we have a legend. That clears it up. Look at the little red dot. How many? Where's the red dot? Let's see. There's one here. 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 And there's one here. Great. White Elantra returning to the campus. Oh, wow. Okay, I got that. So we have one yellow box. So now we know where he's here. That's a good legend. We have little green arrows. Where's the little green arrows? I can't even tell what a freaking green arrow is. Can anybody? This picture sucks. Dude. There's no way if I was reviewing this warrant, I'd be like, dude, you got to get a better picture or take this freaking picture out. I could have took this information to a freaking kindergarten class and said, hey, kids, draw me a freaking map from here to here, and they would have drawn a better map than this shit. But I digress. Rick, why are you being mean? This is just a shitty, I just want something that I can read fluently, that I can keep up, that I can paint a picture that's easy to read, and it does what it's supposed to do. It tells me a crime was committed, and I think this guy is connected to the crime because of this, A, B, and C. How hard is that? It's not freaking rocket science. On November 25th at 222 MPD asked law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout. That's called a BOLO. Be on the lookout. B-O-D-L. Be on the lookout. L-O. Lookout. For a white Honda in the area on November 29th, 4 days later. He should have said 4 days later, because now I got to go back. Well, see, it was 25. This is 20. So this is 4 days. This is how it doesn't flow. Approximately 40 days on the 29th, then I would say that. Washington State and Uvalde Police, Daniel required white Electra as a result of the query located a 2015 white Elantra, I keep saying Electra, whatever, with a Pennsylvania license plates, blah, blah, blah. This vehicle is registered to our suspect, hereafter referred to as suspect. I'll just say suspect. Residing at 1630 Northeast Valley Road, apartment 201. So, was this vehicle at the complex? It was located with a as a result of the query, it was located with a Pennsylvania license plate. Where was it located? Registered at YMC. Has a query located? The vehicle was registered to Bryan at this address. Okay. Road is approximately 3/4 of a mile away from the intersection of the Stadium Way Cougar last camera location that picked up. Man, this doesn't... Look, some people may go, man, you're being picky. I know what he's talking about. If you can follow this and it's just me, then go for it. I mean, I'm all right with that. I'm not saying I'm perfect. The same day, approximately 12:58, Officer Curtis was looking for the Elantra at 1630 Valley Road parking lot. Is an apartment complex. So he's looking for it. Did he find it? What? Just get to the... Officer ran a car, returned camera with a Washington tag. Is that different than the original tag? I got to go back. This had a Pennsylvania plate. Found another car with a Washington plate, which appeared to be this is how I would write this, which appeared to be the same vehicle with a different plate. Or it appeared to be the same vehicle registered to the suspect, but instead of having the previous Pennsylvania plate, it has this plate. Wouldn't that make it easier instead of me going, what did I read? What Pennsylvania is? That's a tag. Now he switched it. Would he switch it? Did he not switch it? Why is this relevant? Why am I asking questions when I'm supposed to be reading something that's answering questions? The license plates indicates that Kohberger is a white male, 6 foot, 185. Additionally, photograph of the suspect shows that he has bushy eyebrows. Well, this is his opinion, and him stating this like a fact, I would have wrote, the license plates came back to a suspect. The suspect, after I ran his license, came back 100 pounds. When I looked at the picture in here, I also noticed that he had bushy eyebrows. I'm writing my statement what leads me to believe that this guy's connected. This guy writes it, additionally, the photograph shows him he has bushy eyebrows. Well, officer, please describe what bushy eyebrows is. Do I have bushy? Does he have bushy? What would make it not bushy? What is your definition of bushy? Is a 1/4 inch? Is a 1/2 inch? I mean, he just wrote it as it's not a big deal. I'm being picky, but this just gives, it's not clear. It's not flowing in my opinion. Suspect physical description consistent with the description of a male who was inside the King residence. Okay. So this ties it together. Suspect description is connected. Further investigation, including a review of the sheriff deputy's body cam and reports, showed on August 21, Bryan Kohberger was detained as part of a traffic stop. At the time, Kohberger, who was the sole occupant, was driving the Elantra. Okay, so this is good because now we have the car in the area. We have him driving the car. It's registered to him. And now we have him driving the car previous to this. So what we're trying to do here is so they can't say, well, how do you know it was his car? When did he buy the car? Did he buy the car last week? How do you know it was his car that he was driving? How do you know he didn't lend it to somebody? All those questions can still come up. Is this really relevant? No, but it does tie him to the car a little bit better. Is it needed? I don't think it's needed. Again, we just want to tie this guy to the crime so we can arrest him. Okay? All this is important for the report and the investigation and everything we do, and we want to tie all this up. But for an arrest warrant, dude, just give me the facts. Give me the probable cause that ties him to the freaking crime so we can go arrest him. At the time, Kohberger was sole occupant of the vehicle. During the stop, which was recorded on law enforcement body cam, provided a phone number, blah, 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 hereafter referred to as 84. Why couldn't it just be suspect phone? No, Rick, it should be 84. Okay, whatever. I'd have put suspect phone. Has his cellular phone number. Investigators conduct electronic database queries, learn that 8458 phone is the number issued by AT&T. Okay, so we contact AT&T and get a history. Suspect was detained, on October 14th. How long ago was this? What was the other one? August 21st, he was detained. August, September, October. 2 or 3 months later, we found more body cam footage where he was detained as part of a traffic stop. That's how I would write it. That's not how it's written here, but whatever. Under review of that body cam report, suspect was sole occupant of vehicle driving. Okay, great. Pennsylvania plate. Okay, so now why is this important? Now I kind of connect the dots here. We have him 2 months later, 2 months before, it's got a different plate, correct? Pennsylvania plate? No, it's the same plate. Okay, I thought he switched plates. Okay, so I guess they're tying the plate to the car, the Pennsylvania. I don't know where he's going, why this is important. Maybe I'm missing it. On November 18th, October, November, almost a month later, according to Washington State license, he registered a vehicle with a Washington plate. Okay, so now we got the two different plates on why he's got it. Okay, tying that together. Again, does that really relevant? It could be. Prior to this time, the one registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require a front license plate. So they said it didn't have a front license plate. Maybe that's what he's trying to get to. Because he doesn't tell me what he's trying to get to, I got to guess why this is relevant. So I'm trying to tie things together instead of him being the author of this, tying it together for me so it's easy for me to read. Communication, while I know Idaho and Washington require front license plates. So what if you know that? What's your point? Investigators believe that Kohberger is still driving because the vehicle is captured on December 13th with license plates in Loma, Colorado. On a further, the launcher was queried law enforcement Indiana on the 16th. Why is all this important? Why do I care where this plate was gone? The sole occupant of vehicle, white description. Kohberger and his family in Pennsylvania learned through a search. Why is that important? I have no idea. Based on the information provided on the website, Kohberger is currently a PhD. So we totally switched from all this shit about the vehicle and license plates, which I still don't understand what point he was trying to make because he didn't finish it up. At the bottom, if he would have finished up here, synopsis of the vehicle, it appears that the license plate was blah, blah, blah. It appears that he changed it. It appears that it's been in his condition the whole time. And this has been his vehicle for the last 6 months. And he's changed it. And we have DMV records that show it's been in his possession. If he would have put that paragraph in here, he would have tied all this together. Right now, I have no idea what the hell he was trying to convince me. Rick, you didn't read it right. It was very clear for me. All right, whatever. Then it's clear for you. I don't care. Based on the information provided by the website, suspect is currently PhD student in criminology at Washington State. Pursuant to the records provided, member interviewed a panel of the police department. We learned that suspect past education included undergraduate degrees in psychological cloud-based forensic. These records also show that suspect wrote an essay when he applied for his internship with the police department in the fall of 2022. Okay, how's that important? Kohberger wrote an essay that he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies on how to better collect and analyze technology. Why is this important? This may be important later in the trial, but why is this important to arrest him? I don't know why this matters to get an arrest warrant for him. Later, if I want to say that's why he turned his phone off, that's why he was good on technology, that's why he wore a mask, that's why he wore gloves. It doesn't appear he wore gloves. I don't know if he wore gloves or not. I don't think he did, but maybe he did. But why is this important? These are the questions I ask when I read these things. This is what a judge should be asking when he reads it. Suspect also posted a Reddit survey in which was found on open source internet. The survey asked for participants to provide information understanding how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making when committing a crime. Now, are we trying to say that he planned this and he did this survey in order because he knew he was going to commit this crime? Maybe. How is that relevant to arrest him now? Are we trying to say that we think he's done other crimes and he was doing influence or he was trying to collect information and we're going to tie all these crimes? I don't need that to arrest him now. How is this relevant to saying he's connected to this crime? Does it make him look like he's got knowledge? Yeah. But do I need that to determine a crime was committed and he was involved? As part of the investigation, law enforcement obtained search warrants. That's what I want. Where's the search warrants? They should be public. Search warrants to determine the cellular device, cellular towers, close proximity to Clean Road address. On November 13th, are we going in chronological order? Where's the last date? See, here I go. We went from the fall of 2022. We went to December 15th. And now we're at November 13th. So we went back in time, right? We went December 15th was the last date. December 16th, 2022. Now we're going backwards. November 13th. Okay. As part of the investigation. So, what it appears here is we went in chronological order for this area, and now we're starting a new chronological order. Again, it's not real clear, and it took me a while to figure this out. If it takes me a while to figure out, it's not clear and flowing. It doesn't flow naturally. November 13th, after determining, was associated with the launcher. Investigators reviewed search warrant returns, a query of suspect's phone, and these returns did not show he was utilizing the towers close to King Road. Okay, so he wasn't using. This is almost like negative. This almost tells me, why are you telling me negative information? Here's where I think he's reaching. Based on my training and experience and conversations with law enforcement officers specialized in utilizing cell phone and recording, individuals can either leave their cell phone at a different location before committing a crime or turn their phone off. Most anybody knows that. But based on my training and experience, I mean, okay, based on my training experience, this is what I believe. So he's telling his opinion on why he believes it. It doesn't say he did it. It just says that some criminals do that. Okay. Does that help you or the average person come to a conclusion that he committed this crime? I'm not sure. It may not. This is done by subjects to avoid alerting law enforcement that cellular data and particular crimes. I also know that on numerous occasions, subjects will surveil an area which they intend to commit crimes prior to the date. Yes, some subjects do. But how does that mean this subject did it? Do you believe this subject did that? Depending on the circumstances, this could be done a few days or several months. So you could drive by a place months ago, and if a crime occurs and your phone's there, they can say, oh, we know that criminals, sometimes you were surveilling, weren't you, several? This isn't real clear to me. I'm at 22 minutes. I'll make a part 3.